Angels Sewing and Quilting in Salem, New Hampshire. And just a couple minutes, we are going to have on our very own Alice from the store. She is like the guru of our lesson room as well as our classroom. And, we are going to be talking to her about, you know, what makes her tick, what she likes to teach, because we all kind of have like a little idea of all that. And we just thought it would be a good idea to to talk to each one of them, because each one of the angels at Angels, they all have their own little niche. And Alice certainly has an amazing niche. And I say that because just the lesson part of what she does, I have no idea how she does it. Like, I listen in when I'm in the office and I'm like, ah, oh my gosh. Like, anyway, but we're just gonna, before we'll get like a few people coming on, just give me a couple minutes, Alice. I know she's right here, she's hanging tight. I'm just gonna go over a couple of little housekeeping things that we do. I hope everybody's been doing well. Isn't the weather been nice? I mean, the weather the last couple of days has been so great. I want to make sure I have my correct chat on here. I don't know why it's it seems like it's old, but maybe it's not. So if one of you, okay, yeah, my ticker tape is right. Okay, all right. It must be okay. Just one of you just say hi to me or something, just so I know it's okay. But I'm sure it probably is. Oh wait, I'm gonna mine is and I've got red arrow people like texting me here, so I'm gonna chime that out. But okay, we have like so much stuff happening this weekend. We're so excited to be hosting our very first annual sewing retreat at Purity Springs in Madison, New Hampshire. I can't tell you how much work April has been putting into this. um, we're so excited. We have a full we capped it off at, is it 25 or 30? I think 30. And then we opened it up to just Saturday only. And it's just going to be just amazing. So we're really, really excited about that. And it's going to be very special. She is doing all kinds of stuff. We're going to have some impromptu demos happening Saturday. For those of you that are coming up on Saturday, we'll also be able to take part of listening to Dave Sirota. So that's going to be really exciting. He's going to do like a stand-up, comedy kind of thing. So we're excited about that. And then he's also going to do a demo. It was going to be on perfect points, but he decided to change it to circles. So it's something with circles. So we'll just see. It'll be fun. Let me see. Okay. All day quilting with Patty has been so amazingly popular. So if you're at all interested, we have it in the calendar. Go to angelsewing.com and you can go to the calendar at any time and sign up for any of our classes that I'm going to talk about right now. Some of these things are already like full, but we did start a new class. Anybody that is in the beginning stages or middle stages or end stages of doing a Laura Heine collage, we're going to start doing a Laura Heine open sew. So if you have any kind of Laura Heine that you have started and you want to come on into that open sew, come on in and we'll guide you. You'll have myself there or Lori there to guide you along. A place for everything bag class. That is the bag. I don't have it here because I'm at home. It's at the store. That's that bigger, well, not a bigger bag, but a little bit more involved bag. You open it up and it has all those pages in it. So that's going to be happening in June. Wind Drifter quilt class with Christy is going to be happening. And that quilt is going to be hanging at when we're at the expo, which is this weekend is retreat. The next weekend is the expo. So, I mean, my poor angels are going to be so busy for the next, like, oh my gosh, 2 weeks plus. It's going to be really kind of cool. So that is happening. So you'll see Christie's Wind Drifter quilt will be showing there. We're going to be showing samples of, upcoming classes and, for you to sign up for over there. 12 Days of Christmas in July is going to be happening. This is another thing that is going to sell out. So Trevor Conquergood is coming to the store in May. That is May 12th and 13th. But for you guys, you pick between 12th or the 13th. So Friday or Saturday. And it's going to be demo style, so you don't need to bring anything. Notebook and pen is pretty much all you'll need, if you even need that. It is sure to be a very educational day for anybody interested in embroidery. Anybody that is either, number one, interested, number two, has a machine. Maybe you've, set it aside and you haven't done anything with it, or for the one that is doing embroidery and you want to up your game. So it really is for all the levels of embroidery, but he is like the guru of it. If at all you're interested, you need to be there in that seat during those times. Also, just so you know, and then we're going to get Alice on in just 1 minute. At the expo, we will be supplying 2 classrooms. Alice is doing a class, and that she is going to be doing a class, and she's going to be using some Baby Lux sergers. Patty, oh my gosh, I just went blank. I'm like, Alice. I'm like, Patty is doing a class, and she is doing a class, and she's going to be using the DX 2000s. That class is also going to be used by a couple other classes. I'm not sure about Alice's class, but anyway, so those machines that will be used in those classes will be for sale for classroom prices. So that will be happening. And the best part too about the Juki side of it is that Alba from Juki will be there for the whole weekend. So we're really excited about that. She'll be on the floor with us because we have a booth there that will be selling some Jukis. I'm also going to be there with the Rico printer. So if anybody's interested in that, and you have a special, and I'm gonna throw this out right now. If you have a special picture that you want to be put, on a fabric, I will be there to do that for you. So be ready for that. If you're coming to the show and you have something in your head that you want to put on some material, I will have the material there. I will have the Rico, and I'm so excited to show you guys about that because that is just so much fun. Just picture anything, any kind of picture. You can create things with the software, and the software is not anything major. It's pretty simple. But anything that you can take a picture of or create, you can actually put onto a t-shirt. So it's really cool. I think that is oh, and just one more thing with the Quilt Expo. If you are coming to the Friday evening dinner, and if you are set up for that, because I don't know if you guys know, but Adam So Fun is going to be at that expo. So I even think I heard, and I don't know if it's been cut off. I don't know, but I heard there was still a couple of openings for a couple of his classes. So you may want to check in with that on Facebook at NE New England Quilt NEQE on Facebook, or go to Bits and Pieces, and that'll all be on there. So, but he's like the keynote speaker for Friday night. And also, if you are already coming to that dinner on Friday night, we will be giving away to one person in that room a Juki TL18. We are giving away one of those. So, yeah, there we go. All right. So without any further ado, I would like to welcome on our very own Alice. This is so exciting because this is like the first time that we start doing this. So it's so fun. Hi, Alice.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Thank you so much for coming on with us.
You're welcome.
Um, so, I mean, and I want to say also because it's a big deal. I mean, I've been there. It'll a little over 2.5 years. I can't even believe the time has gone by
I
that.
know.
It's
I
like
was trying to figure out
so.
how long I've been teaching there.
What? Well,
Yeah,
how long before I was there were you there? How long?
probably it's since about the January before, so this about 3 years.
Well, I've been there almost 3 years, so almost 4 years. Because me, it'll be 3 years in
I
October.
started before COVID, then I had off a few months, though I helped Laura sometimes get some
Okay.
stuff out near
So
the beginning of COVID, get some stuff out the door, but yeah.
so probably, yeah, almost 4 years, I
Well,
think
I
we
guess
can.
so. Yeah.
I'm there almost 3 years, so we'll
Yep.
say you a year before. So,
Yep.
yeah. Um, uh, when you're there, you do your lessons because people tuning in, we for every machine purchase, we give 6 free lessons, and that is where it goes to Alice. So Alice, take it over and let people know what they get with that. Like what does that all entail and what you do? Because I'm just so amazed. Every time I walk in there, I'm like, how does she keep
Yeah.
up with this?
Some
And
days
you
are
do,
better
it's
than
just
others.
amazing. Oh my gosh.
So you get 6 free lessons, as Carol said, with a machine purchase at the store. After that, they're 25. If you didn't purchase the machine there, you can still take the lessons. They're $50. And we do have quite a few people doing that at the moment. Um, so
Oh, but wait a minute. Hold on. Um, wait. Uh, if they've bought the machine from us after the 6 lessons, it's $25.
correct.
Oh, okay. Is that what you just said? I'm sorry.
Yes.
Keep going. Sorry.
And if
Sorry.
you didn't buy the machine at the store, then they're
It's 50.
$50,
Right.
which I
Sorry.
do have several people doing actually at the moment.
Yep.
Because they buy a machine somewhere, then they don't know how to use it. They need help. So I have, like, for the sewing side, probably I think about 17 lessons. There's know your machine. Popular are zippers, buttonholes, hemming, because everyone asks you to hem their pants when you know how to sew. Uh,
Right.
to have quilting lessons, beginning quilting lessons, paper piecing. We have about 5 serger lessons and 5 or 6 embroidery lessons. So you can, the embroidery ones I generally do in an order, but there are 6. So if you have sewing and embroidery, I have been letting you pick and choose a little bit. Some lessons do take more than one lesson, like a zipper lesson or binding. I do count that as one lesson. So even if it goes over 2 days, since it is one lesson. So there are a couple that are a little long. I give you a little bit extra time on that.
There you go. So instead of 6 free lessons, you might get 7 or 8.
Right.
There
Yeah,
you go,
because there's a
which is
couple that
all
take a
good,
couple. Right.
which is all good.
And I teach, so I can have up to 5 people. I could be teaching 5 different lessons at the time. So I give you something to do. I move around, I rotate around and keep coming back to you. Some lessons go better together than others. Some, when it's lessons that require a lot of hands-on all together, then it gets a little crazy. And therefore, if a lesson runs over, I don't count it as a full lesson if you have to continue it in another class. So
Right. Right.
I've been pretty generous in that, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
So Alice, your background in sewing,
mhm.
um, tell us how, I mean, okay, give us some background of when you
Okay.
started and how you're at
Well,
this point now.
right. Well, I probably started sewing as a teenager. My mom sewed always. Little pressure from her. I maybe didn't want to sew all that much. um, but I made clothes. I made a doll for a cousin of mine, and probably in the last 10 and garments, and probably I've been more at the last 10, 12 years, increasing my skills and taking classes. I've gotten, I have costume shows. I have done music theater a bit, costuming for several shows, ballet costuming, including the tutus.
Well, tell them also about your daughter, Jane. I
Yes.
mean, yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you're saying it very casually, but
Yeah. Well, the
seriously? Come
tutus
on.
are for my daughter, who's a professional ballerina. So,
Professional, like, she's an
yeah,
adult ballerina and I've gone
correct.
to a production, and it's, like,
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. And they're tutus that you could spend over $1,000. So
Yeah.
they're very involved. Not my favorite thing to make, but they're fun to see them on stage, though, I must say, when you made a costume and see it
Yeah,
up
I
there on
bet.
stage, it's pretty cool. So anyway, I've been the last few years training. I took a lot of lessons at Angels, so many that I was helping others, and they asked me to start teaching the lessons. So, because I did know how to sew pretty well when I came, it was partly I needed to get out. My children were growing, and I wanted to get out with adults. um, so that's what got me going back into it a little bit more. And I bought an embroidery machine, and I love embroidery. Freestanding lace is one of my favorites. I have some classes in that, in the hoop embroideries, putting embroideries on garments. So I find that's a lot of fun.
Okay, so we do need also to talk about, I mean, your niche also is garment sewing. I
Yes.
mean, uh, we just asked Alice to do her 3rd or 4th perfect tea class, and she's like, "I'm done." So no, just teasing.
Give
So
me
go
a few
ahead.
months off.
But you're great with garments. I mean,
Thank you. I'm still learning. I'm actually currently doing a BERTA certification, and it's based
ooh,
on garments and construction. I've read a bit on the Palmer Pletch method, which is flat pattern fitting. Um, so in my garment classes, I do them in 2 classes. So the first one we do fitting the flat pattern. Take your measurements. I have my own measurement chart. Kind of compare your measurements to the pattern, find the size that's closest to you. Like if it's a top, you go basically usually with your bust measurement. If it's bottoms, you basically go with your hip measurement and adjust anything else around that. And so we kind of fit the flat pattern. I don't know if you've seen us in there, like putting pattern pieces on our bodies.
yeah.
Yeah. So kind of seeing if it's going to fit. And then we do a little bit of fitting as we're sewing. As you get it partially done, do a little fitting, see if any needs adjustment. And we adjust the pattern also. So next time you make it, you can just go make it. So the first time it's a little time consuming, but then you have a garment like the t-shirt you can do so many things with. And I do want to bring it back again in the fall and do something with lace blocking on the shirt. It'll make it look like a totally different shirt. So there's so much you can do with a basic pattern. And coming up, I will have another flowy back pleated back shirt, long shirt. I do have it done. I just have to write up the paper. Hopefully in June, and a couple Saturdays in June, we'll have that up. And if you've done the perfect t-shirt, bring that pattern, because the fitting is by the same person. So we can use that to kind of your
Ooh.
fitting on the next shirt. So
So that's a nice
yeah,
tip.
yeah.
Okay. All
And
right.
coming up in garments, I have requests to have a skirt, and I hope to have this summer a skirt, the perfect tank top by the same person as the perfect t-shirt. And then, going into fall, probably some like a cardigan, pants by maybe next year, getting into like looking way ahead. And I had to make it myself a list because there's so many things I want to make. But next year, maybe getting into athletic wear. So,
Oh, fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about you a little bit personally. I mean,
Hmm.
you're married, you have 2 children.
I do.
You just had your very first granddaughter. So let's
Yep.
talk about that because I mean, guys, you should see the clothes that she has made for Maeve. Oh my god. Don't you love that name? I just I love her name. So
Well,
let's talk about that a little bit.
she's 9 months old today.
It's 9 months already? Oh my
Yes.
gosh. That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
She's walking with a little walker.
Oh, that's so
Yeah.
cute. So cute.
Her feet
I
are
mean, the
catching
clothes
up.
you've made her are just,
They're fun.
darling.
They're a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
yeah,
And they're
yeah.
fast because they're little. but anyway, yes, I am married. I'm a professional musician. And you see my grand piano in the background there. I'm shoving around there. Woo! There's my
There we go.
piano. Um, so I'm a professional singer. I'm studied opera and classical singing. I've taught voice and piano for probably over 30 years. I had enough of beginning piano, let's say. And right now I'm mainly music directing at a church. So I'm still singing and actually streaming live every week. Kind of forget about that actually, that the camera's still on. So I do that. And so that's my other job. And I do have 2 children. My son is just turned 33 on April Fool's Day. He's one with a little baby. He and his wife have the baby, and my daughter is 23, 4. Yeah, she's going to be 25 actually
Oh gosh.
in like 2 weeks or less. And like I said, she's a ballerina, and we keep busy with them too, and trying to make clothes. My next things will be getting into men's clothes. My husband wants a fleece. He has a fleece jacket he loves, so, and embroidery, some logos for Tufts University. He teaches at Tufts.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
so doing some logo stuff for him. So
Oh,
yeah.
fun.
And in with all the garment sewing, I do love the sergers are awesome to use for that, and that's another thing. I love machines and tools. If anyone has taken any classes by now, they didn't know I love my machines and my tools. But that's a little
Nice.
personal background anyway.
Well, Alice, well, you're getting to know me, I guess, I like to sew quite a few different things,
Yeah, yeah, I'll like a lot of different things.
yeah, but I also kind of I stray also towards clothes. Like I do stray towards clothes
Mm-hmm.
and but and I've been saying now for over a year, I need to learn my serger. Like I need to sit in a lesson with you, when it's not full, because a lot of times they're full. I don't want to take up a space
Yeah,
for
lately
someone
they've
else.
been pretty full. Yeah.
I know, which is fantastic. But I need to sit because I don't know anything about sergers. So, like I did this dress. Well, you're not going to be able to see it that well, but
Mm-hmm.
I do the dress with my Juki, but you see all of my look.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Look
could
how
finish
beautiful
that.
that is.
Yeah, you could finish
I
that up with
mean,
serger. It just
yeah.
makes it
So,
look so much neater inside. Not that
but
everybody looks inside, but
no, but you're right. And you know what? And it's
you keep.
long. It's very long, and I knew it was too long. Like look at the bottom, okay?
Yep.
I actually wore that to Angels last week. I'm like, it wasn't this bad
Mm-hmm.
because it's linen, as you wear it, it just kind of,
Yeah.
um, I'm like, well, I'm just gonna wear it. No one's gonna really notice that I didn't hem it. Um, but I have to, I
For
really have to
costuming,
learn.
I just serged the bottom. I didn't always bother to hem them. I just serge it because on
And
stage you can't tell if it's really hemmed or not.
right? And that's exactly what I would
Yeah.
probably do, but
So I
I
did
don't
the
know how
Sound
to
of Music where I had to make all the children's garments out of the curtains. So that was a
oh
lot of
my
garments. Yeah,
gosh.
that's a lot of garments. Yeah.
So,
So
that's probably what I would do too, but I have
yeah,
no idea how to use a serger. Like,
yeah. I mean, I use it for even just sewing my seams. I just if you're uncomfortable with it, like sewing maybe an armhole, I have you baste it first and then serge it. But once you get comfortable and it's like a pretty straight seam, I just go ahead and serge it. It's got two needle threads and it's all cut and overcast. You want to know what fits you first. So any fitting you do before you serge it. But
You
yeah,
know, the serger thing is just I don't know, it's just so confusing to me.
yeah,
I don't know, they have the ones with the 4 threads and then
yeah,
they have 8 threads and
correct.
it's like cover stitch and
Yeah,
serge and oh my god.
yeah.
I don't
Well,
know.
this
But anyway,
last year I did the Baby Lock Serger Expert training, and well, it was on the Triumph. I happen to have the Ovation, which is the older model of the Triumph. So I did
okay.
my Ovation, but it was on the Triumph, pretty much the same. Um, so I would like to do, and I have had some people ask me about doing a little bit more in Sergers, to do
Yes.
some stuff. It is really fun to kind of refresh. Like the first day, it was like, oh, I know all that, blah, 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 blah. But then we kind of refresh using all the feet and attachments that you don't use all the time. So
Right.
there's there's some good tools that a lot of people may not know about what sergers can do. You can do decorative stitching with it. You can quilt with a serger. I think Mary Lou brought a quilt in. I had done that quilt a few years ago. Where you're doing both sides at the same time. Um, I'm working on just something we can display, like a sampler with all the different types of stitches you can do on the serger, cording, elastic. Well, the Baby Lock has a unique stitch called the wave stitch. You can use it as cording
Yes.
or decorative stitching. Uh,
Bistany did it the other day on one of the
yeah,
sergers. Yes.
yeah, it's really cool.
Yes.
And I did it and used it as cording, so you can use it in different ways. And you can do decorative stitching, like do your stitching upside down, so you the underside that you don't normally see, you see on top. So you can use it as
Well,
a decorative stitching.
I have heard too a couple of I don't know exactly who, but bag makers using the serger with different colors of the thread for decorative
Hmm.
stitching on their bags. And I'm
Yeah,
like, well, that would be up my alley, right? But I just don't
yeah,
know how to use the serger. So I have
yeah,
to and Christy, our Christy, you know Christy that
yeah.
teaches for us.
Right.
She just said, once you learn the serger, you'll love it. So
Yeah.
that is like I've been telling people for the past over a year now that is like my bucket list is to learn the
Hmm.
stinking serger. Ah,
Yeah. So I'd like
so
to do an extended class. So April actually asked me to tell the difference between lessons and classes. The
yes,
lessons are pre, um, there's a certain curriculum for the lessons, and they're the same for every lesson. Because especially doing 5 at a time, I have to kind of know them inside and out. And so those are the lessons, and they're we do have a brochure of all the lessons. You can also find them online under lessons. Okay, so those are the ones you get free, the free 6 ones to choose from. The classes are project based, and anyone can take the classes. You can bring any machine. Um, and those are project based, and there is a cost to the classes.
perfect.
So
Yep.
basically, so anyway, the serger I would like to do, and some people have asked me to learn some more about the serger and the feet. So you know, I'm working on putting something together to do maybe some of the techniques, just maybe some technique and maybe a project based on that technique. Because
Right,
project always makes it a little more fun than just going through the feet.
right.
But
Yep,
yeah,
yep,
but,
for sure. For
yeah,
sure. Well, and your class, which is it's already filled up, but you're teaching a class at the upcoming New England Quilt Expo in less than 2
correct.
weeks,
Yes, it is.
and that is serger based.
Serger based. We're doing a little girl's ruffle skirt.
So cute.
Doing few different techniques on the serger.
Yeah, I'm
We'll
excited
have a
about
couple
that.
of different sergers there. We'll have Baby Lock Celebrate. I think we might have a couple Jukies and a couple of the other Baby Lock
Yep,
going up the line. So what
yep,
we have in stock,
perfect.
we'll bring up.
And, for those of you that are listening and you are interested in a serger, we'll have class prices on those machines as well. So
Okay.
um, that's also,
Yeah.
going to be available. So,
Mhm.
all right. So I always ask, when I'm interviewing people on my lives, it's kind of been a regular thing now on Tuesday nights, which I love. Um, what it like, okay, so I mean, you're busy. Obviously you're very busy. Like when you're home and you're gonna go in your sewing room, what is your go-to sew? Like what are you most likely to pick up and do?
Well, I work on maybe gifts for people. So my
Okay.
latest thing was embroidering shirts for Valentine's. I did a ballerina on a piano keyboard for Jane,
Oh,
um, a fly fisherman, and a rainbow trout on the back of the shirt for Dan. And, of course, Maeve has to have a few little t-shirts.
of
Uh,
course.
so, and lately, all I've really had time for between my two jobs and now watching Maeve on one day a week, I free up very little time to sew.
I know.
Um, and my Sunday afternoon is pretty much a nap. Um, so I like to make the garments. I mean, I have so many planned out to make stuff for my daughters. Um, so the clothing I really enjoy, and I really enjoy embroidery. So it would be one of those
Fun.
things. Yeah.
I mean, I'm kind of the same way when I make things. Give them away. What else do you do with them? I mean,
Right.
I'm mostly a bag maker, and I mean,
Hmm.
I can only have so many bags, right? It's like, oh my god. I mean, like I'm sitting in my story room, I can see them like all up on my shelves and stuff. It's
Right.
like when I need a present, I'm like, all right, which one is she gonna like?
Right.
It's kind of funny. But
Yeah. Yeah.
and another question I like to ask is,
Hmm.
what is your go-to notion? Like when you're at your sewing machine, what can you not be without?
Stiletto.
Okay, all right. That has been it's been between stiletto and seam ripper.
Well, that too. Yeah.
That's what I've been that's it's so funny the
That's
way they ask.
as I did sewing quote coasters today. I actually have one here, and it's a love
Oh,
hate
cute.
relationship with the seam ripper.
Right.
But
And
stiletto, I use that to keep small things under the needle, saves your fingers. I have run over my finger twice. Um,
ugh,
really hurts. Yeah. So I love the stiletto. I use a lot.
I know, and it's funny, stiletto, I was always like I tried to use it, a couple of times. This
Hmm.
is way back, but I do use it now. I love it. But you know which ones I like better? I like the purple thing better
Mm.
than
Okay.
the
Then the metal
metal
one.
ones for
Mm.
some reason. I
I like the
just feel
metal. I
like,
like that sharp point, like a
oh,
pin.
okay. All right. See, I don't know. I don't know if the point one, like the metal ones, they make me a little bit more nervous. I'm always like,
Mm.
ooh. But the purple thing, I can kind of like, it bends a little bit, so I can, I don't know, it just
Yeah, I don't
feels
like.
a
Yeah,
little,
I like it not to bend. So, yeah,
yeah, yeah.
everybody has them.
They do. Yes,
And
yes.
appliques, the Quilter Select applique scissors are also, if I'm
Oh,
embroidering,
yes.
those are like
Yes, certain
favorite.
scissors. Me, I like these
Yeah,
Karen
those.
K.
Yeah, those too.
Buckley's.
Hmm.
I also have a good pair. Oh, these are my other go-to ones. These are my Tula ones. I like
Hmm.
these.
I think I
I
have the
I
whole
mean,
set of the Karen K. Buckley ones. She has serrated
right?
and non-serrated.
These
Yeah,
yes, these
because
are amazing.
serrated
And
dies
then
don't
there's
work great on knits.
Kai, the
Yep,
Kai ones.
nice. Yep, you can never
Um,
have enough scissors and tools.
okay, and okay, you guys, this I'm just gonna show this to you. Oh, wait a minute. The heck? Oh, there we go. Have you seen this, Alice?
No, what is
Oh
that?
dear. This. All right.
Looks like
This.
press.
Well, it's like Best Press, but I guess it's like a different brand. It's
Hmm.
Acorn Easy Sprayer. Um, darn it, I don't have. Well, it is I just charged it, Alice.
You charge.
So yeah, I charged it. So you know how when you're when you're ironing a bunch of things and
Hmm.
you're pressing your finger and I mean, you get
Hmm.
tired after a while.
Yeah.
Well, supposedly I have not used this yet. It literally just got charged. I just filled it this morning, charged it. I'm going to be doing a demo on this. So all of you people out there, just stay tuned for this demo. This is an automatic. They say it's amazing.
So motorized.
A motorized
So
sprayer.
what's in it? Best press?
Well, it's not Best Press, but it's like
Something like
their
that.
brand of it.
A start
It's like
it.
their
Yeah.
brand of it. So and you know what? And I will give my my opinion on Best Press or this one of what
Hmm.
what we all think is going to be better. But this one's it's called Acorn. So I don't know, but we'll see. I'll be
Check
doing
it out.
that soon. So I always like looking for different things. But uh thank you so much for
You're
coming
welcome.
on. Do you have anything else you want to share with us or?
Well, April asked me to explain something about the computer classes.
Yes, the computer know-how. Yes.
Computer know-how, and what's the difference between that and FTCU or something?
Well,
I'm not
a lot of
sure
people
it
are
was.
thinking that when you're doing the computer know-how, you're talking about FTCU, but
Aha.
that's two totally different things.
2 classes. So the computer know-how is for people who aren't sure how to organize their designs on their computer, not sure how to get their it's for embroiderers, number one, how to get their embroidery designs from their computer to their machine. So that's basically what I do. We actually download a free design from a website. If you have it on a disk or a USB, we do one of yours. And show you how to organize them. And I do talk about software in the class, and I have a list of some sites that I gathered from people around the store and myself of places we like to get designs, because some places are better than others. So I do talk about what's the software, but we don't really do embroidery software. So you just bring your computer and it's hands-on. You go through the steps with me, and then I have you do it by yourself. And FTCU is software. And as Carol said, we had Trevor Conkergood coming in May. He's awesome. He's very entertaining and so knowledgeable. You'll enjoy his accent as well. So I have done lessons on FTCU. So if people are interested again, and after he comes, otherwise I was thinking maybe after he came, I do like a project-based FTCU class where we create something in the software and actually stitch it out. My last class, that's kind of what they wanted to get to, more the project-based. So
that would be great.
yeah.
That would be really great. And you know what I want to point out too, and I'm sure you'll attest to this. I've been trying to tell people when, Trevor's coming and he's like kind of the embroidery guru.
Oh yeah. Gosh,
And
yes.
it's not only for people, it's for all ranges. I mean, for any of you that may be interested in purchasing an embroidery machine,
Mhm.
or the person that just got an embroidery machine and, you're not sure. It's for the person that got an embroidery machine, maybe a sewing and embroidery, and you've kind of put your embroidery machine to the side and you're like, I've been sewing. But, you got to keep up with the embroidery.
Right.
And for the person that is a big embroidery person, Trevor's for you, right? Do you agree?
Exactly. Even if you don't think you want the software, I mean, he has so many good ideas about embroidery.
Tips and tricks and
Right. I mean, I've been to the Floriani workshops once before with him, but probably 5 or 6 years. Each time you soak in a little bit more and remember a little bit more about stabilizers. And so each time, just the more you hear it, the more it sinks in.
Exactly. Because even just stabilizer for people, it's like, like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh. But, yeah, sometimes you kind of overthink it, but you don't know that you're overthinking it.
Right. Yeah.
But you're right. Every time,
Yeah.
it's kind of like when Brian from Martelli comes. Every time he comes, I learn something new.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like with Trevor, the same thing. So,
Yeah. So
um,
those are the embroidery ones. I do have open sews once or twice a month, and if you're interested in, I can put a class on. I have my next one is I think
oh,
in
wait a
a
minute, I got it
week
right here.
week
It's
from Saturday. I think I have
April 15th.
this week. Yes, this week.
Is that this
This
week?
Saturday. Is that this
Oh
week
God.
already? Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
it's
think
this
it
Saturday.
is. It's
Yeah.
Saturday.
Yeah. So there's a couple in there. There's room for a few more. So open
There
source,
you
you
go.
bring your own project, whatever you want to help with. This is what people try to bring in lessons sometime, and I can't do those at that in lessons.
Right.
That's what the open source for. Bring any project you want help with. I'm also available for private lessons. A lot of people will just sign up for a private lesson. That's an hour and a half with me, just yourself. I've had quite a few. I usually have a few of those a month.
Definitely. Yeah. So,
And if you're
um,
interested in a class, I've been working on some embroidery ones with different embroidery techniques. So if you're interested in a class, just let us know.
let us know
Like she
exactly. And
said,
I'm
everybody has a different. I've had some people interested in bags. I said, well, Carol does bags.
we all kind of have our little niche, and
Yeah.
that's why I thought
I
I
mean,
would
I
do
like to
this.
make bags, but I don't make them all the time. But
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, if one of you out there, you have you yourself and two friends that want to do some kind of garment class, reach out to Alice.
right.
Um, we do our classes minimum of 3, and we go from there. So,
Hmm.
so yeah, yeah. Anything else April told you?
Let's see. I'm looking at my list. I think that was mainly it. I think that was mainly it. That
Uh,
was mainly it.
I don't know what I do without April. Oh my gosh. April's
Yeah.
very good. So,
Yeah, she's awesome.
well,
We've been
okay. Well,
peeking my head around the door. Do you have time for a question?
my
Should I
favorite
do
part,
this way or should I do it this way?
I love when I'm in the office and, and April may be sitting there with me or whatever, and you're out in your, in your lessons and you're full with 5 or 6 ladies and boys. I shouldn't just say ladies.
Correct.
And it's just so fun listening to all of you
Mhm.
guys. I get a kick out of it.
Yeah.
It's just really fun. Um, so yeah, and Linda's saying she loves the open sews.
Yeah.
She also says, amazingly, you keep it all together while you're teaching 5 different lessons at the same time. And that is so true because
Yeah.
I have no clue how you do that. I
Yeah.
walk in there and I go, ah.
We have a lot of laughing sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
hey, yeah, cool.
But
Well,
there's a lot of people, I must say, that meet each other. There's a lot of people exchange phone numbers. They have a lot of fun.
they do, and then they start to go to classes together
Yep.
and become friends, and you're so right. Yeah, I've seen that so much just in the, little less than 3 years that I've been there. It's just I
Mhm.
just love seeing all that. So,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it's very good. Well,
Well,
Alice, I love having you at the store. You're an
thank
amazing
you.
asset to us, and we love you. And I thank you for taking the time to come on here tonight with us. And yeah, I
Yeah.
think, are you in
Welcome.
tomorrow? I think you're in
Yes,
tomorrow.
I am. Lessons.
I will see you tomorrow morning.
I will be there.
All
All
right,
right. Thank you
everybody,
very
we
much.
are gonna sign off. I'm gonna sign off with Alice. So I'm just gonna end the stream and I'll talk to you all later. Bye,
All right.
everybody. Bye,
Bye
Alice.
bye.
Thank